All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Football Organically. I'm your host, Doug Parrish, where we capture and share all the unscripted drama of college football. Today, we have the distinct pleasure and honor to lean into my alma mater, the University of California at Berkeley, and gain an inside view lens of the Travers family head football coach, Justin Wilcox. Coach Wilcox is in his 8th season at Cal when the Golden Bears move into the ACC Athletic Coast Conference. Welcome, Coach Wilcox. How are you today?
I'm doing well, Doug. Thanks for having me.
Well, thank you for being here. We're pretty excited, and our audience has been looking forward to hearing a lot about the blue and gold coming up this season. A lot of moving parts. So let's just jump right into it. We have some exciting topics to discuss today with head football coach Justin Wilcox. And I just want to say last season, I had a chance to attend the Maxwell Awards, coach, honoring excellence in football. I had a chance to meet with one of your buddies, Coach Bobby Hawk, and his lovely wife from the University of Montana. And they had great things to say about you. And it's kind of nice, huh? When they say nice things about you when you're not in the room, huh?
I suppose so. Yeah, I guess it's better than the alternative.
There you go. So how important is it for you to stay engaged with other coaches and maintain relationships in the coaching fraternity?
Well, to be honest, it's difficult to keep up with too many people because you're so busy where you are. You do come across folks, whether you work, if you're in this long enough, you're probably at 1 to 2 degrees of separation from most of the guys that are coaching across the country. So I think the guys develop reputations when you work with them or been around them, or maybe you know somebody that worked with somebody. So that's an important part of our business, not unlike many industries where people move from job to job, and I think the key is you try to do a really good job where you're at, treat people well, and then maybe the word gets out that you're a good person to work with, and maybe you know a little something.
Excellent. Excellent. Now, coach, shifting into these college football playoffs right away, you got 12 teams that will be entering the college football playoffs for the next 2 years. And then there's an MOU to add 2 more, which will be 14. 4 SEC, 4 Big Ten, 2 ACC, which you will be a part of, 2 Big 12, Notre Dame, and a non-Power 5 team. And we're looking at about $7 billion in revenue that's going to be at stake. What are your thoughts on these numbers, and how does this resonate with you?
Yeah, there's been a lot of discussion about expanding the playoff. I think, generally speaking, that's good. I don't think there's probably any perfect playoff system because there's always going to be some discussion about how many teams, who's the one that got left out. I think, that stuff gets complicated, and sometimes there's probably not any perfect answer. It doesn't really change in terms of how we approach what we do. Our goal is to prepare our team the best we possibly can and go out and win as many games as possible. And if you win all your games, then you're gonna like where you're at the end of the year, or you win most every game, you're gonna like where you're at the end of the year and have opportunities. But we focus really on the process of winning those games as opposed to, how many teams are in the playoff, who's ranked where preseason. We're really not concerned with all that stuff.
Interesting. Okay, well, let's segue into the team specifically. We all know about the dynamic running back, Heisman Trophy candidate, Jayden Ott. Can you share a little bit about Jayden Ott's development and his potential?
Yeah, Jayden obviously is a very talented young man. He's gotten better and better since he's been here. He's really an engaging guy. He's a good person. I mean, since he's been here, he's just really kind of done nothing but build a stronger and stronger reputation. We're really obviously glad he's on our team. He's a dynamic player, and I think he's poised for a huge year. He had some great moments last year and had big games, and now it's about consistency and performance and doing that week in and week out against every opponent. And that's the challenge. It's hard, it's not a complicated formula, to do that, but it is hard. It's challenging. And I think he's up for it.
Sure. Who are the other players we should be on the lookout for offensively, defensively, and special teams?
Well, obviously we got some vets coming back and some production coming back. At O-line, we have some guys that have played a lot, and TJ Session and Siawape and Jack Indries at tight end. There's a bunch of receivers who we're excited to. There's a bunch of new competition in that receiver room, so I'm looking forward to watching that unfold. Defensively, we have Ricky Correa has been a nose with us for a long time, provides strong leadership. David Reese and Xavier Carlton on the edge have played a lot of football for us. We got Kedu Luave, very talented young guy at linebacker. We have brought in a transfer, Teddy Buchanan, who we think very highly of. And in the secondary, Craig Woodson, been a stalwart for a long time. Craig's a very good football player. And then he and Noel Williams, and we brought in a transfer, Marcus Harris, who's a very talented corner. Miles Williams is doing his thing at safety. There's a bunch of competition at that DB position as well. There's probably 10, 12 guys that we feel comfortable playing in a game. So, a couple of those positions, we're looking forward to sorting it out and watching those guys develop. And then same thing at the specialist, brought in a kicker who's very talented, and Ryan Coe, got a really good snapper. And so there's a bunch of guys, that we're looking forward to getting out there and competing.
Well, it's going to be interesting this year, Coach, because I think in the Independence Bowl is where they actually launched the two-way communication between coach and player. What are your thoughts on that new technology, and how will it enhance what Cal is doing?
Yeah, I think it's a good thing. I'm actually in favor of allowing more players to hear the coaches as opposed to just one on each side. We'll see where that goes, but in the short term, I think it's definitely a step in the right direction. And again, I'm hopeful that down the road you can have more than just one on each side of the ball.
That would be nice. Yeah, I think that's where everything is hopefully going. In terms of your philosophy, Coach, a lot of people, when we watch Cal play football, they try to get into the head of the coach. And what could you share with the folks out at Football Organically World about, just a general philosophy of yours, even like going for it on fourth down or some scenarios like that?
Well, we want to be an aggressive team. And I think when you talk about fourth downs, I think there's considerations made. There's a lot of analytics and math behind all that. And, we've used that in the past as a supplement, but I don't think it ultimately factors in everything. There's the human element involved. There's momentum in the game. And so whether you're talking about fourth downs or 2-point conversions or, kicking the field goal versus not kicking the field goal, I think there's, just a showing belief in your team, but also being strategic. And, that's my job, is to make those decisions. And we got really good coaches. I really love the demeanor of our team. Our guys are smart guys.
Yep.
They love football. They still engage with their teammates. I think team chemistry is really, really important. We work hard on team chemistry, just like we do blocking and tackling, because I think that stuff matters, especially in this era when there's movement.
Yep.
It's getting to know your teammates and caring about your team. And, recognizing the fact that the players have individual goals, but their individual goals and our team goals can live together. And so we talk a lot about that, but really, really like the demeanor of the team and where they're at right now. And we have to perform better and win those close games, but I think we got the guys to do that.
Outstanding. Now, I know that you have been heavy into the transfer portal, and Cal has plugged in some key folks on defense and on offense. Tell me a little bit about what your thoughts are with the rankings and how folks are ranking you guys.
Well, Doug, I don't have any thoughts on that because I don't know what they say.
Okay.
We feel good about the players we've added. It's a competitive market in the transfer world. We always look at, where are we at that position? Does whoever is available to recruit, how do they fit in? How can they help us win? And then do they fit in with our team, culturally? And so we kind of answer all those, and it happens quickly because that process isn't 2 years long. It's sometimes 2 weeks, if that. And so we got to be really efficient in the evaluation. But we like the guys that we brought in. We feel like our team physically is better. We're net positive, certainly, from where we were a year ago. But now we got to, manifest that into production on the field.
Gotcha. Hey, tell me, you talked a little bit about the goals for Cal. Can you talk a little bit more specific about the goals for the upcoming season?
Yeah, our goal is to win the conference. Like, that's the primary goal. And then win a bowl game is the second goal. And, our players, everything we do, every decision we make, every meeting we set, every walkthrough, every meal we eat, and every lift, it's with that in mind. What are we doing in order to achieve those goals? And our players, like I said, have individual goals, and we want them to have those individual goals. But as a team, it's all about winning, and what's most important, identify the goal, but really it's what's the process that's needed in order to achieve them.
Excellent. Now, you bring in a lot of folks, and they're going to have to get used to the traditions of Cal. So, who's taking that leadership role and saying, okay, we're going to talk about the fight songs. We're going to talk about the victory cannon, with so many moving parts. I mean, I'm especially looking forward to the victory cannon, man. Come on.
Yeah. That happens over time. It's not one meeting. It's hard to walk in and say, well, I just, bleed blue and gold. I mean, that happens the longer you're here. And so that's why the team chemistry and the camaraderie is so important, because they can feel that, and they'll learn along the way. I mean, in our meetings, we talk about those things from time to time. They'll get some Cal history. They'll get, the big game and the axe and the great players and the cannon and, my man Dog Turner. It's a great day to be a Bear, and the Bear territory chant. Like, they'll get all that, but it doesn't happen in one meeting.
Gotcha, Coach. I'm looking forward to an exciting season. Ladies and gentlemen, I have been joined by the Travers family head football coach at the University of California, Justin Wilcox. Thank you so very much for being with us today, and best of luck entering the ACC upcoming season. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Doug. Go Bears.
Go Bears.
All right.